times better. Like you have to prepare like 10 times more than a normal person would prepare for that thing, to check on every boxes and everything that should happen right before that event comes in. And when the event comes, you know that you are 10 times prepared. So by the time you're delivering, you're only delivering 10% of the weight and the knowledge of what you've gotten. All right. So because you've prepared that deep, because you prepared that much, because you prepared that holistically, you have little or nothing to suffer for when you get to deliver. And definitely because of that level of preparation, you deliver excellently in your presentation. Whatever you're going to be presenting is going to be top notch, it's going to be grand, it's going to be beautiful, it's going to be great. Right? So people are going to be wowed by the strength of which you know, because you've taken enough time to check the boxes. You've done A, you've done B, you've done C, you've done D. Right? So that presentation gives you that leverage to be able to do so much. All right, with just little effort at the moment. So the idea is that you've done the deep work, you've done the main work, you've done the thrilling work, you've done where there is a core for your attention. You've been able to do all of those things, and now you have the strength, you have the capacity to actually deliver forthrightly with almost little or no effort. All right, so that is the idea we are looking into today. I think it's very important, and we are going to see how we can be able to actually achieve this strategically, because it's possible to achieve this, but some person may feel overwhelmed and say, oh, how would I even actually have the time to actually prepare for a program 10 times better? Like, how will I prepare for this 10 times more prepared than I actually do? Now, it's actually basically cultivating a character, right? Cultivating a character of preparedness always. So it means that even when there are no programs or there are no events that are happening, you're going to be actually preparing yourself for things to come. So for events that may not necessarily be here today, but because of the kind of person and the kind of life you hope to achieve, you're already anticipating those events to actually happen or to come in the time to come. Like, let's say in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, or 1 year, whenever it's going to come. All right, you already start now to start preparing yourself, so that by the time those gigs come, you are already, let's say, 5 times prepared for that event, or 6 times prepared, or 10 times prepared already. So you actually get on into those engagements ready with little or no stress or effort. Right, you've done the work already in the past. So the problem is we are caught up with an attitude and character of trying to do things now in the moment, and then we lose out in depth, we lose out in capacity, we lose out in the strength of quality that can come out from the things that we know or have, right, or can have. So when we are so caught up with doing things now and we don't take time to prepare for them, right, we don't take time to build on our skill, build on our expertise, know the depth of a particular concept enough, we get to do things in a shallow way. You may feel cool, you may feel happy, you may feel excited at the moment, but in the long run, it doesn't pay. All right, it doesn't give you that authority that you need. And even if you get to be renowned or known by people because of your visibility, it will come to the place where your visibility becomes shallow too. Right? People have seen you and they've seen all of you. The symphony syndrome is going to happen to you. So you need depth to be able to stay long in the game. All right, you need depth to be able to know so much and to be able to always give out when there's a call to give out. Right, and for this to happen, you need to follow through the system of over preparation. Never go into an event or to a program or to an activity when you are not at least 3 times prepared. If you joke, if it's too hard, if it's too difficult, at least 3 times prepared, right? So that by the time you get to engage and you say what needs to be said, you take action on what needs to be taken action to, whatever. You put those things together, the person that come for that event, they receive them and they get on to also take action on them. What happens? It brings transformation to their lives, and they'll be like, wow. So this thing can be so quick and fast. But they never knew that before you could get that kind of results, you're actually taking your time to work and learn and build yourself to an extent so that it's easy to deliver. Right? Most of the great public speakers you see out there today, they didn't just know what they know and they just come and teach it to you. No. They've experienced this thing 1, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, sometimes even more than the overburden figure we put out there. Right? They know so much about this, and they have accumulated that strength and capacity. They know deeply what this is and how to actually take the necessary steps that will get them the result that they should get as regards that particular thing. And because of that, when they come in, they get to driving and they do better. Right. So, for example, I'll give you an example with music. Somebody is just new, let's say in the choir environment, and they just get to give that person an opportunity to sing, and the person has not gone through any music training or has not been practicing music for years. He just knew about music generally, right? And it comes into that system and feels like, oh, okay, let's deliver on this. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's do music. And give that person the opportunity or the platform to sing. The person has never done stage performance before, has never gone through rehearsal process, has never done singing with a choir before, not just alone, all of that. So the person comes into that space and is wowed that, oh, and I thought this is as easy as it is, but because there was no preparedness and the person has not gone through that process for a very long time or a good time, he may not deliver as efficient as he should. Now, when a person comes to the choir and the person has taken his time to learn, has gone through that process, maybe there's a music training regards a choir and understanding some musical principles and concepts, understanding stage performance, understanding communication with your audience and with the choir at the same time, understanding how to communicate with also the band and all of that. You have a whole full conceptual grasp of all of these principles, all of these things, and you've been experiencing it for some time, let's say 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and lo and behold, they call you a particular day to come in to actually minister. So it's easy now because you've had that interface. In rehearsals, you've actually tried out several things. You've seen how people do it over and over again, and you've been close to them. You've had how they do it, and maybe during the rehearsal time, they've actually given the opportunity to try them out during the rehearsal time. And on your personal space, you're practicing and doing those things. When you come on to deliver on the stage, it's easy for you because it's something you've been doing over and over and over and over again, right? So you get to deliver. You may just deliver 10% of what is actually necessary, right? But you know that you have so much depth already with you. So we're always quick at getting the fruit, and we forget that there's a depth that should be built for us to be able to do more. So the way you can move fast is to leverage on opportunities like this where you need to deliver your skill and build. So for instance, I say there's a particular event coming up in the next 2 months and I want you to play the guitar for us, right? And this is what the program is all about, and this is what we would like you to play. Now you go on to sit down and prepare yourself deeply, get to know what chords are necessary for this song and what other chords you would like to add into it. What are the fingering patterns that should work out for this? What scaling system, what modes will you add to your guitar playing and all of that, all right? And all of those things you'd want to fuse into it, and then you practice this over and over and over and over again. You can even add other little simple things into the kind of sound and all of that. You can envision, okay, what are the possible things that should happen on the stage, all of that. You have the well crafted. You built all of these systems into one, and then the day for administration comes in, and what happens? You just slay it, and people are asking, is this guy born with this gift? Is this guy born with this talent? How does he know this? How does he know so much? All right, it's because you've prepared yourself before time. You've taken the time, you've taken the leap to actually learn, know, understand what it entails for you to be able to deliver that day, and then walk into that system. All right. So because of that, I'll be showing you how to effectively tight your deliveries. All right. How to effectively tight your deliveries. So basically, how to effectively give tithe of your exposition. All right. There may be a way you know how to do, but I think I have about 6 ways that are very much strategic. That if you engage with them, come on, you'll be doing so well. All right. So the first way is create events and prepare for them. So you don't even wait for events to actually happen. You don't even wait for a real event to come up. By yourself, with your understanding, with your knowledge, with what you anticipate for your life, create events yourself and get on to implement this on those events. So let's say you are a tailor, right? And you're looking out for a particular level of mastery in your particular skill. Create events or create something that, okay, say, let's say, give yourself a goal that create so and so thing and present to this so and so person. This is not someone that is respected in your church or respected in your community or respected wherever you find yourself, right? You say, okay, let me create this dress and give to this person. Now, there's an accountability system because this person is someone that is respected and this person is someone that is known, and you don't want to do something that is less of the best. What happens? You get on with that project and you sit down. You get to learn and understand what it takes you to be able to create that kind of stuff. You get them to engage on it. And eventually, something beautiful and amazing comes out from that craft. All right. I say, oh, wow, this is great. But has it reached the level I'm looking out for? If they know, okay, fine, you can give it to another person and then go back deeply again into that work to build what it takes. At the end of it, you can bring out that stuff and then give to that person. Now, what has happened is that you have not just given a gift to somebody that's going to be very happy and respected and definitely it's going to open a relationship for you with that person, but also you have also built a capacity for you. You're now on a new level. What you knew before is not just what you knew. What you know. You now know something very higher, very stronger, greater, right? It's beyond what you've actually known all this while. You've improved on your craft. You've improved on your relationship. You've improved on your expertise. And so it's now easy when other things within that route comes into your place, right, to deliver. It's easy for you to deliver them because you now have the fullness of these experiences joined into one to give you that grace. You see, I'm using music because I do music a lot, right? The YouTube channel and my Facebook, most of the content I share there, music related. So you see someone that is well rooted in music come in and just deliver. They are singing and they are playing the instrument. And you ask yourself, how is this person doing this? They've been doing it for a very long time. They've been doing it in their rooms. They've been doing it in little small events. They've been doing it just on their own. Right? They've created events. They've created opportunities for them to actually perform. So you can actually perform. You can actually perform in your own space. For example, you don't have to wait for the events to actually be before you perform. So there is what I call the performance mode and the practice mode. The practice mode is that you can actually try and make mistakes, right? The performance mode is that you don't stop whether you make mistake or not. So the practice mode, you can make mistake, you can stop, you can go back to do one or two things that are correct, right? And then come back again to do it, to work on the stuff and then maybe run through. And if there's any issue again, you can still make corrections. But for the performance mode, you are on, all right? For example, like this live session is a performance mode. There's no way I can say, okay, this video is not good, this part is not good, let me cut this part, let me remove this part. No, it's live on right now, all right? All over the world, you're getting to see me, right? And I'm saying what I'm saying, clean, live and direct. So if I don't know what I am saying, then I'm spilling out rubbish before you. Definitely you're going to know, right? And that's going to bring me out. So this is the performance. This is the performance mode. But you can actually have a performance mode privately. I think some apps even do that on their mobile device, whereby they give you a space to do it live, right? But the live is just private, so you can actually test yourself. I think Instagram does that. Yeah, I think Instagram does that. You get to do it live, but it's just you that's going to see it and know that person again. All right. So this is the performance mode. You can actually have several performance mode for yourself on your own, right? Until you build that capacity, and then you can now come out to have a real event. Another place is also set yourself up. Have a real life event, right? Choose and set out a real life event where you will deliver that particular thing or that particular concept, right? And then get on to the process of what preparing. Now, this builds you forward, and if you're not good, if you're not knowledgeable enough as regard that concept, you won't be able to deliver well. So you take your time, you sit down to prepare, you learn, you study, you get deep into the particular concept that you want to deliver on, and you know that you ensure that you are good enough to actually deliver. And when you are good enough in this regard, what happens? When you come out, you do so well. All right. So this is very, very important, and I think it's a very good leverage that anybody can actually apply as regards skill. And you do so. It's not magic. It's God's blessings, yeah, that comes to you when you actually do the work. The problem is we are always waiting for something to come in before we actually take actions to do the work that is necessary to be done. When we continue to wait for something to come in, somebody to come in, or an event to come in to tell us that this is the time to take action on what should be taken action on, then I think we are missing out in a lot of possibilities that must or should have happened to us. So you want to leverage on taking action now. You want to leverage on doing what should be done now. You want to leverage on taking every leap that you can take in this moment, or planning in advance for what to come that you can already deliver. So that's the first step, to create events and prepare for them. Whether it is if you receive invitations or offers, or offer to volunteer to speak, all right, receive invitations or offer to volunteer to speak if it's speaking engagement or whatever kind of skill that you're doing. All right, so is that you receive invitations, or you volunteer to actually do something as regards that your skill. It's very important. Now this gives you that leverage of accountability. I think the goal here is actually building your accountability structure so that you can actually prepare enough and deliver. All right, so you're leveraging the accountability structure that you have to do something at a time, and because you have to do something, what happens? You get onto that mode of preparation whereby you can come out and then perform effectively and get the result out of people. The next is take invites you are already prepared for or can prepare for. So this is a very important one amongst the things we're talking about here. Do not just walk blindly, right? Do not just walk foolishly to say that, okay, you want to just take an event you're not prepared for. I wouldn't encourage that. I would say that you can take events that you are ready for, or you can prepare for. So you check your engagement, you check your activities, you check the things that you do, and you want to be sure that you have that possibility, you have that opportunity to actually prepare for what you say you are supposed to do. All right. For example, you have a speaking engagement and you don't have the time to prepare for that engagement. I would suggest for you that you tell the person that if there's a later date, you can really engage on that thing. All right. But if you have the time and you have the space, you can let them know that, okay, fine, I'm going to show up for this thing, all right, because I think I have the time to actually prepare, all right. And then the other side is you already know the craft, you understand the craft, you know what to do, you are good, like you're a pro already, all right. You can then take on that event and then get on to present. What happens is that every time you show up as a master. That's the idea of this, all right. So every time you come on board before people, every time you speak to people, every time you have a conversation about a thing, you show up as a master. You show up as knowledgeable. You show up with depth. You show up with understanding. You show up that you have what it takes to bring the results or give a solution to what you're talking about. Right. So every time that you show up, the idea is that you must show up as a master. So it's creating a perspective and an image of you in the hearts and the minds of people. That's what you know what you're doing. You have the capacity to do certain kind of things because you have experienced, you are experienced, you've gone through a process and you have that idea. So every time you show up, you are showing up as a master. When you continue to show up as a master, it creates that scene before the eyes of every person that what this one is distinguished. And so it will build on your resume that people call you for the greater stuff, for the bigger stuff. So that also draws you to the place of even preparing yourself for deeper and greater stuff. And then you start living mediocre engagements. Right? This is like a big win. This is like a big hack. So you are paying attention to the core things. You notice all the engagements we've been having, all the live sessions we've been having, have been big on getting to deep work and getting into doing what is really important and what is core, right? That's what actually gets you to stand out in every level, in any place, right? That you do what is really, really important. The main thing that should happen is what you do. So when you're always doing the important thing in your job, in your workplace, right? There may be 1,001 activities to do in your workplace. But if you are sure about the main task that you're supposed to do, right? You are sure about the main thing that you're supposed to do in your workplace, and you focus your attention and time on doing that thing and doing it excellently well, come on, you find yourself being promoted. Though you may not do 100 things, you may not do 100 things over 100 things. You may just do 50 things of 100 things, but those 50 things are too important, or even 20 things of 100 things, and those 20 things are the core importance of your job. They would like you more than someone that's actually stressing himself or herself trying to do 1,001 things, because you were clear about the job description that was given to you, and you did according to what is necessary for that job description that was given to you. So for the job position that was given to you, there was a description, and based on that description, there have been an outline for what should be done, and you get on to do that work. That sets you apart. That makes you to actually stand out. If you're joining us, please do well to let us know. Just say hi, right? Just say hi wherever you're joining us from. Let us know, and let's have that inflow. Where you're joining us from, just say hi and comment something that you've learned already on the live. All right, thank you very much. So let's move forward. The next is get into deep work. Be a maker performer and less of a manager performer. So if you want to stand out in your craft, you have to be a maker performer. And what does that mean? It means that you take your time to actually do the creation of a thing. So what I'm doing right now is I'm performing with the maker performer gig. All right. So there is also the manager performer. The manager does the management of that, management of things, a lot of activities coming in to do just one thing. You get to work here, you get to work here, you get to reach out to this, you get to reach out to this. You are always active doing many things. That's the manager, right? All the maker is just stayed on a particular concept and building on that particular concept and getting depth with that particular concept. So if you want to become an authority quickly, there's necessity to do the management, but let's be less on the management than on the making. All right, become a maker. All right, take time to create things. An example is God himself. God created this earth, right? Just his creation creates. That's how interesting it is, right? That what he has created by himself can actually create, and what the things that his creation can create, those things can actually still create, right? So he has that capacity of creating something that can create. That's how creative God is. All right. So God has done the big work of doing the creation. In the beginning, he said he spent how many days? 6 days creating, and the 7th day he rested. All right. So that's a lot of time for God to create and build this earth, crafted everything. And man is still trying to explore and understand this creation that has been created. That is how deep it is. All right. So this is a maker performer. All right. You get on to create things. So from that creation, other things can actually be created from that creation. All right. Example, this video or this live can actually be recorded. Can actually be collected, and short clips can be made out of it. All right. Something is being created from it. The knowledge that's been shared here, somebody can actually benefit from it and actually take action and do something in their lives and create other things out of it. That is what happens to the maker. What happens to the management is that you just have to try to manage it to get it on for the time, to go on for the time, to go on, all of that. That's necessary. That's important too, because things have to be happening right now. things have to be organized, things have to be managed for the moment, right? But then the maker works for the future, the manager works for the present. All right. So this is very, very important. It's a very brilliant, amazing strategy that you can take on, and it's going to help you and push you to the Senate. Number 6 is organize your deliveries professionally. Okay, I think I missed number 5 is to take credit for your work. Take credit for your work. Now, this may look cliche, but it's actually important. Take credit for your work. If you're going to stand out as a master and as an authority, something you want to do is to take credit for your work, especially in our world, in our time today. Come on, you know how it happens here, right? You want to, by all means, take credit for the things that you bring to the world, right? For every opportunity you create, for everything that you do, for every work that you put out there, all right? Take credit for it. Put your name on it, put a tag on it, put a code on it, put an access system on it, right? So that gives people the leverage to come and seek you, all right, for what you've crafted. They get them to seek you, they get them to learn from you, they get them to understand how you're able to do this thing, or get them to seek for access to that thing that you've been able to do. And then because they are coming to your dwelling, it builds that sense of respect. All right. Authority is basically seeing you as a figure of respect, a figure that stands, that has a value that the people are looking out for. All right. So because you stand in that place, people are coming and they're looking out for those things. Definitely, there's a sense of respect that comes in there, and so you get to thrive. So please do well to take credit for your work. All right. Tag your stuff. Create access systems. That's why people that author books, they put their names on it. It's not hidden. It's strategic, so that's what they